Now to apply the oil, you just warm it into your hands and then pop it onto the client's chest, down her arms or his arms, and then up the back of the neck, onto the face, and then up onto the forehead. Once you've got a good application of oil, you might need to do this twice. Make sure you can easily get to the back of the neck, and then you're ready to start your massage routine. Now the massage is best performed standing for the chest, as you can increase the pressure. Now our first movement is the broad sweeping effleurage, which we're going over the chest, around the arms, and then on the back of the shoulders and up the back of the neck, and then you can actually pull. If you see my posture, as I'm pulling the neck, I'm helping to stretch the muscles. Now the muscles we're going to be working on are the pectorals, the deltoids, I'm just going onto the biceps there, and then on the back of the shoulders is the trapezius, and then straight up there to the occipital cavity at the back of the neck. During this, you will start to see a little bit of erythema. That is normal, as this is an effleurage movement, and it will help increase the circulation. We perform 6 of these movements to warm up the muscles. Our next movement is trapezius rolling. Now with this, it's quite a tricky move. You have to get your arm around the shoulder, across the chest. You push the client's head to one side, stretching the trapezius muscle, and then you come up the back. And you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'd finish with your left hand, glide the left hand back, with your right hand push the client's head to one side, again stretching the muscle, and count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Finishing this time with your right hand, gliding it back round, around the shoulder, across the chest, and again pushing your client's head to one side, and start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. During the massage, always make sure the client is comfortable, warm, and the pressure is okay for her or him. After the trapezius roll-in, then we knuckle down. This is a petrissage movement, which is going to help with muscle tone and any muscle fatigue or tension. So you knuckle onto the chest, down onto the arms, around the shoulders. If you can even knuckle onto the trapezius if you can get. And then we're going to do thumb circles around the shoulders. Again, this is another petrissage movement. And you will start to see erythema, again, which is redness of the skin with the increased circulation. And then you're going to do finger circles around the shoulders. You count 1, 2, 3. With that third movement, this is then enabling you to move on to the next move, which is the palmar kneading over the trapezius, which is a 1, 2, 3, up the back of the neck, glide your fingers, and then glide them back down to the shoulders. And again, 1, 2, 3, and glide them back. 1, 2, 3. Glide them back to the shoulders, and then at this point you put your thumb inside, and then you're going to do thumb kneading on the trapezius. If you can, get your thumbs all the way up the back of the neck, stroke them back down, and again, 1, 2, 3, up the back of the neck, stroke them back down. Now at this point, if you can feel any tension nodules, what build up in the muscle fibres, you can see one there. I'm just going to work my thumb over that lump and make sure it feels okay for the client. Is that all right for you?
Yeah.
And you can work on that a little bit more if you need to. You can just see how the muscle is a little bit stiff. Okay, we're going to finish the chest now with the broad sweeping effleurage, what we began with, but with this I'm going to put in another movement, which is vibrations, which I'm going to feel the client's vertebra, and I'm going to tense my forearms. And this has a stimulating effect on the nervous system. So as I'm going round, what I'm actually doing is this finger here is holding onto the client's vertebra while I vibrate my fingertips. You do 3 of these movements, so 1 more, and then that is the chest completed. Okay, now we've performed the chest massage. I've sat down now so I can concentrate more on the facial features. So we're now going into the throat brace, where we do 3 smooth effleurage movements, drawing the face up, ready for our manipulation movements, which we're going to move on to jaw kneading, which is the petrissage movements. And these are going to all help on the jawline to help tone the client's muscles. So you squeeze up and drain down. So we're draining a bit of lymphatic drainage on the jaw area to the submandibular nodes, what are here. So we just squeeze up 1 more time and then drain down. Next is thumb circles, and you always do your circles upwards as a lifting movement and then drain down. Upwards, circles, petrissage movement, drain down. This next move I'm going to go up and we're going to start to do corner flicks. Now this is a tapotment movement and it's getting ready to do whipping of the jawline which is a tapotement movement, which means breaking contact, so therefore is very stimulating on the circulatory system. And then the tapotement tapping movement is helping the client's muscle tone on sagging contours on the jawline. And you can see it's a definite tap, which is very stimulating. Then you work this tapotement movement out slowly, and then we're ready to work on the cheek area. Now this is called the cat and mouse. There should always be a little gap left between the fingers. Your hands should completely cup the client's face, and when you get to the temples, you're going to stretch this hand, pull away, and you're actually stretching a large masseter muscle which lays down the cheek, which gets a lot of tension when the client's using the jaw a lot and chewing. And stretch. After the cat and mouse comes the facial lift. Now with this, it's one complete movement where the thumbs come up onto the forehead, then the fingers come around. And then you do that again. At this point, the client should be starting to relax. This is another effleurage movement, warming up the forehead. Ready for forehead frictions, where you use your ring finger, which go in and out, and you work all along the forehead, trying to work on any fine lines and wrinkles. Okay, the next movement is a very relaxing movement where most clients drift off at this point, which is called the forehead roll patting. So we're just going to work into the center slowly, slowly, and then we start our forehead roll patting. Now the hand should be completely cupped to the forehead, and work slowly. As that hand is coming to the end, the other hand goes on. And we're going to work onto the right side of the eye. One continuation. The client shouldn't feel your hands removing, coming off and on. It just should be a continuation of warmth through your hands. When you get to the right side of the eye, you can actually work on fine lines and wrinkles, known as the crow's feet, and just gently work on them. And then you're going to continue all the way along again. Ideally, you're looking at about 32 hand movements to get you to the other side of the forehead. And don't worry if you go into the hairline, that feels nice to continue with your hand movements through onto the scalp a little bit. Once you've done your 32 hand movements to the other side, again, work with your little fingers, your ring fingers on the crow's feet. If you're working on a 16-year-old, you would still do this as well because it helps with any drainage around the eyes. And then we're going to work to the centre of the forehead to do our eye lifting circles. Now, using your ring fingers, don't use your middle or your index as they can be too strong for around the eyes. So with your ring fingers, you're going to work around the eyes, and then you're going to do 3 little ones. Now, if you haven't got a good support here, you can actually use your thumbs to support your fingers if you are a little bit nervous or a little bit wobbly at this point. And then you actually lift in here, and it helps to relieve any tension. As you can see, it's the light touch, then lift in here. Going to do one more with little circles. And this is great for dark circles and baggy, puffy eyes. And we'll lift here. And then we're draining to the pre-auricular node. And then we do just some smooth drainage, lift. And then we're going to move on to eyebrow squeezing. So again, you can bend your finger and your thumb and you squeeze the eyebrows, then drain to the pre-auricular node here in front of the ear. Squeeze up, drain down. Squeeze up, drain down. Then we're going to finish using our ring finger again with 3 very slow eye circles. Your touch should be a lot lighter than in the first eye circles you did. And they should be very slow. And again, use your thumbs to support your fingers, because your pressure has to be very light at this point. And then you're going to finish the massage, little circles at the temples, bit of pressure, and then off. Once you've completed the massage, we need to remove the oil before we apply a mask. You can either use cleanser or toner. Now, with me using oil on this client, I'm going to use some cleanser, which is a nice foaming cleanser, which again I'm going to warm in my hands because it's going to be very cold and the client's skin is all nice and warm. This is going to be cold. Just prepare your client and then apply the foaming cleanser onto the skin. Now, if she had a dry, sensitive skin, I would just apply a little bit of toner to remove the cream, massage cream. But oil's a little bit harder to remove. And then just massage it in gently. It's a nice finish to the massage, the cleansing. and then remove that with warm water and sponges. And then you would blot dry with a tissue, and that's the facial massage complete.